So good afternoon YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. It's a quick ride out to the aerodrome, which is at Gloucester Airport, or Staverton, on the Himalayan 450 or Himalayan 450. So I'm trying a couple of different camera angles today. Let's hope those work. And I've completed a number of changes to the bike which I think are good, and I'll go through those later on. So today, Saturday, it's quite windy. It's going to be very windy at the aerodrome for sure. It's a good place to go to the aerodrome at Gloucester. They've got a really nice, I suppose, pub, bar, cafe. It's really good there, good quality food, inexpensive, and it gets very, very busy indeed at the weekends and bank holiday Mondays and yeah, all sorts. Very, very busy. I'm fully expecting it to be busy today and possibly not being able to park very easily, but we'll see how it goes. I just want to show you guys that. So it's very breezy today. It's going to be even windier tomorrow, so I've chosen today to go and do this because typically aerodromes get incredibly windy. Very windy indeed. A bit like sort of rivers, really. if you go and walk down a river, at the side of a river, it's really breezy. It's the same thing, it seems, for the old aerodromes. That's a lovely car. Beautiful. Beautiful car. Coming this way. For those of you that live near or around Pershore in Worcestershire, I'm sure you probably already know about the camera vans which always proliferate around this area. Quite rightly, I have to say, to make sure that you're sticking to the old 30 mile an hour speed limit. There's another lovely old car, look at that. Beautiful cars today. So they usually sit here, either there or just at the end here. Just at the end there. And we often get police bikes as well. So this road is out towards Tewkesbury, and we're going to have to go through Tewkesbury in Worcestershire to get to Gloucester Airport in the way that I'm going, which is a little bit more of an interesting route. So we've got 890 miles on this motorbike, the Himalayan 450 from Royal Enfield. I will do a 1,000 mile review and we'll see how it's all going at that point, but so far it's been excellent. I've not had to alter or adjust the chain at all. Obviously I've kept it looped, and I'm keeping it under 6,000 RPM until I've gone over 6,000 miles. Not 6,000 miles, 1,200 miles. I correct myself. But at 1,200 miles, according to the manual, you can then take it over 6,000 RPM, which is great. Mr. Ducati man. By the way, has anybody else noticed the almost total lack of acknowledgement from other motorcyclists lately? No nods, no waves, not a lot, nothing really. And it's not the bike, because I've noticed this on the NX500, the NC750. I've noticed it on the Ducati Scrambler, the KTM 890 Adventure, the KTM 390 Adventure. I mean, literally for the last 5 or 6 years I've noticed a significant drop in people acknowledging each other on the roads. And as a MAG or MAG member, which I fully support, and you guys should as well, that's just my opinion of course, yeah, we all need to stick together in these turbulent times, shall we say. Now the bell at Eckington is just up here, so there it is. Well worth coming to. And booking a table up if you live around the area. Eckington's a lovely little village as well. Nice walks. So now we're on our way to Breedon. Breedon is also a nice place, and it's our next village. So let me know in the comments who else has got a 450 or thinking about one, and specifically anybody that's got one recently, how are they getting on with it? How are you finding the seat? How are you finding the bike running in? Is it loosening up for you? So I've found that the bike does loosen up, is loosening up quite significantly now, and the bike just wants to rev now freely. And it's got a surprising amount of power on tap. 40 brake horsepower doesn't sound a lot, but it's surprisingly good, and I find on the roads more than enough. Which brings me on to the next thing, tyres. A lot of people have changed their tyres out for 50-50 tyres, which I fully understand, particularly if they're in an area where there are a significant amount of green lanes that you can trundle down. Now we haven't got many green lanes at all around here, but we've got plenty of broken up gravelly roads. I'm finding these Seat grip tyres excellent on road, and actually when I've gone down those gravel roads they've been really good there too. They're also very good in the wet, and I tried those out this week. We had some rain and they gripped really well. No slip. I got excellent feedback from them right to the edge of the tyre. No problems. So I shall be leaving these tyres on the bike because the vast majority of my riding is on the road. I bought this adventure bike, as I said in my last video, because I don't want to have to turn around if on my little travels on little tracks I encounter a bit of a green lane. I want to be able to go down it and not think twice. So that is the primary objective of this motorbike, is to be good, in fact really good on the road, and actually really good off-road. And this bike absolutely accomplishes that for me. So personally, I will not be changing these tyres out. That being said, when they do need changing, I will very seriously consider putting a slightly more aggressive tyre on for the off-road duties. We're now in Breedon. We've got a couple of nice little pubs here. Another quite nice one down there. So the next stop is Tewkesbury, which is basically on the M5. I got a nod. Thank you, sir. It's always nice to get a nod, isn't it? You know, I understand that this is not a fire-breathing dragon sports bike with an open exhaust and hunched down over the bars riding position and bright green in colour, but you know, it's still a motorcycle, and I always acknowledge everybody. It's another nod. Gosh, that's impressive. And I just think that motorcyclists really should stick together, because we're only about 1.5% of the driving or riding community in this country of ours. We really have got to stick together. So I will definitely promote the Motorcycle Action Group. Please consider joining them. It's only about £30 a year, and for that you get a bi-monthly magazine which is glossy, beautifully produced, and you get all the information that you need to join ride-outs, and also any kind of activities and campaigns that they are pushing, which is great. They've got a rider action day coming up on the 5th and the 6th of, I think it's June, or no, July, I think, and that would be good to do that. Never ceases to amaze me how good this engine is. It just chugs, which means that, yeah, here we are, Tewkesbury. It chugs, so if you find yourself in a higher gear than it should be, it won't complain at you, it'll just chug. It's brilliant. It's a very flexible engine indeed. Very impressed with it. I think it's appropriately named the Sherpa engine. So I've also removed the rubbers from the foot pegs, and I was expecting, being a large single, that it might vibrate quite a lot more. Even though it's rubber mounted, very cleverly rubber mounted pegs, I fully expected the vibrations to be quite intrusive. Let me say, for me, with my former boots, which are adventure boots, it's not. So I think with some confidence that anybody that's thinking about taking the rubbers out to give them better grip when the pegs get wet, yes, it's a good thing to do. You get superior grip in the wet, and actually I think you get better grip in the dry as well. So it grips the boot better. So yes, taking the rubbers out the foot pegs has made a huge difference to the grip levels off and or in and out of rain. I've got a couple of Lomo bags down there which have been very useful. I've been able to get all my tools and bits and pieces in there. I've not yet bought any tubes, and I intend to buy some tubes for the bike, and I'll put those in there as well, and a couple of tyre irons. And they're still not full, so there's plenty of room in those. I've changed over. I've got a Krieger bag which is waterproof. It's a US 5 litre, and I've got that now. I've moved it from my tank, put all my camera gear in it, and it's now on the seat. But has anybody else noticed that the seat, sometimes if you don't get it right, it comes off? It starts to come off. It doesn't engage fully in the mechanism, and that comes off, or decides to start to come off, which is slightly worrying. I don't want to lose that on the road. So one good thing about putting my Krieger on the seat means it can't, because it's literally harnessed down. So if you get it wrong, you don't push on it quite so tightly as you could, it stays down. It's a nice place, Tewkesbury, but you've got to watch the traffic. It can get a bit manic. I don't know whether you can see that properly down there, but my MPG is currently at 90.9. It's almost 91 miles to the gallon, which is, it's a new record. That is something else. Interestingly, this time I put E5 fuel in, not E10. And the fuel economy has gone up. Not by a hell of a lot, but it has increased. That's interesting. Wonder why that would be. I've been told by a number of engineers that ethanol makes engines burn hot. And because engines are tuned lean these days because of these restrictions from our European partners, shall we say, well, let's face it, the ethanol is making the engine hot. The lean mixture is making the engine hot. So the net effect of both of those things is a decreased engine lifespan, in my opinion. So not great. So I think I might be putting E5 in this engine, in this bike, from now on. It's significantly more expensive, but I think that's worthwhile doing if it's your bike and if you intend to have a long-term bike. So we're now on our way to Gloucester, and next sensible stop would actually be Cheltenham, funny enough, or that direction. I'm at 60 miles an hour near enough, and the vibrations from the pegs are almost the same as if the rubber was put in. So I don't think there's a problem with the rubbers out, and you get better grip. That being said, when you've removed the rubbers, you retain the bar, sort of like it's like a peg weight. It's a counterweight almost underneath the peg, which resonates and allows the frequencies to resonate less. So there's 3 Allen bolts at the bottom of the peg, 3. Do not remove the centre one, which is slightly bigger. There's no need. That holds the resonator bar, or not bar, peg weight in. Do not need to remove those. Gosh, it certainly is windy today. It's going to get very windy at the aerodrome. Most people complain about the side stand, and I agree, the side stand is very short, which means it's a horrendous lug off the side stand, this bike. But one of the good things about it is that if there's a high wind, the bike is not going to go over. And I've noticed that on the original Himalayan, there has been reports of the bike tipping over in high winds. In fact, if memory serves, Joe Ryan on YouTube, on his Himalayan, had the same thing happen to him. One thing I will say as well, when the brakes are bedded in, they are very good, and particularly the rear brake. This is going to be interesting. I think the wind is going to be quite extensive. The aerodrome is to my right. You do get some quite big stuff here at Gloucester Airport. They do run helicopter lessons, the usual flying lessons, and there's a club. There's also a really good shop. So if you're into your flying, this is definitely a place to come if you're around Cheltenham, Gloucester way. And I'll imagine that the flying today is certainly quite challenging in this wind. And it's turned right just down here. So as I say, just a short ride today, just to the aerodrome, just to show you where it is and what it is, and to update you on the bike. The coffee is actually quite good here. If you're up for a coffee, and the cake is pretty good for that as well. As I said, the food is good. The riding position on this bike standing up is just brilliant, isn't it? They're going to nick my spot, aren't they? No, I'm okay. So there we go. This is Staverton or Gloucester Airport. Very busy. Got a bike there. Looks like a V-Strom. Yeah, it's good fun. Mostly light aircraft and lighter helicopters, but sometimes you get some big stuff in here as well.
Let's have another go on it. Yeah. We'll try again. Thank you.
I know you are, babe.